What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Sick Podcast Talking Titans. Tonight we got a show. We got a big game Monday night against the Fins. It's do or die in our opinion. We're going to talk about it next. Jimmy, start us up.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to the Sick Podcast. Talking Titans.
Levis towards the end zone. Got a man. Touchdown. Wow. And it's the fourth TD pass of the day in the debut of Will Levis.
The sickest Tennessee Titans podcast. Sick! It's going to be sick.
Yes, I said do or die on Monday night because right now it feels like it's do or die. We could go 1-3 or we can be 0-4 going into the bye. So in our eyes, yes, it's do or die. Before we get into the show, let's give our shout out to our sponsors. We have two tonight, which is Homage. Throw it up there, Jimmy. Homage specializes in ultra comfort, high quality looks, repping sports, pop culture, and more legendary moments. Learn more about Homage with a link in the description, either on Instagram or on our Twitter or even on YouTube. Sickest clothes will be out there, to be honest with you. Sweatshirts are mad comfortable, and obviously you see us rocking with the show. So thank you, Homage, for everything.
And our favorite betting app, DraftKings, TD, Tutty, in for 6, touchdowns matter more at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. We don't care how they score, and we want to bet on touchdowns. And DraftKings Sportsbook is delivering. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple, like a player to score a touchdown. Not any Titans, that's for sure. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick, and that could be whoever the Titans are playing. Ready to do a touchdown dance of your own? New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with the DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one place to bet touchdowns, as long as it's not anyone on the Titans. Download the Sportsbook app and use code 6sports. That's code 6sports for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball.
Yes, like you said, Vin, if you don't want to bet on the Titans, but if you do feel like if you do feel like betting on the Titans are +1 right now on Monday night. The Dolphins are -1. Over under is 36.5. And if you take the Titans money line, which I am not doing because I've done it the last 2 weeks and they absolutely screwed me, it's -102 versus the Fins money line at -118. So that's a wrap on that. Then we missed you the last 2 days. You had personal things going on Tuesday. Got to respect it. And you were again on vacation on Sunday. So you respect it again, enjoying it with the wife before the kid comes. What was your thoughts with the Packer game? Let's just jump right into that before we go into our game over here.
So I was on the plane home from Florida, and I wasn't watching, obviously, the game in and of itself. I was following along on the ESPN app. They're a joke. They're a complete joke. I don't know how else to put it. They went right down the field and scored, and then we went down the field and scored, and it kind of seemed like we might go tit for tat, but we just can't sustain anything. And I'm tired of it, and this team's a joke. You said it's do or die this week. I think that game was last week. I think this season is lost. I think this franchise is lost, okay? I said it in Nashville. It seems to me that good teams stay good for a period of time. The Patriots have been competitive our whole life. The Packers have been competitive our whole life. The Chiefs have been competitive our whole life. The Eagles have been competitive our whole life. The Cowboys have been competitive our whole life. The 49ers have been competitive our whole life. The Seahawks have been competitive our whole life. It kind of seems like there's 5 to 10 teams in the NFL that just stay good.
Relevant.
With the exception of some flash in the pan years. But I think it's a franchise issue. And I'm going to call out the ownership. I think Miss Amy's in over her head. I really do. I think she might be more excited for this new stadium, and it kind of has clouded her judgment as of late. And I don't care who sees this. I don't care what anyone has to say about it because I really don't give a shit anymore. And I'm tired of the losing. And I said something on Monday, on Sunday. I tweeted it on the plane. Got a lot of backlash for it. Maybe Mike Vrabel just wasn't the problem. Maybe
we brought that up on the show.
He wasn't the problem. Maybe the guy who won us back-to-back division titles, took us to an AFC title game, had a winning record with us, wasn't the problem. Maybe we as a franchise made a knee-jerk reaction and fired him, okay? Because I'll tell you what, Mike Vrabel with this team, the first 3 weeks, the way these games have gone, is not going 0-3. I am sorry. And for all you guys who jumped down my throat and said that I was wrong and this and that, he was 6-18 in his last 24 games, we were the most injured team in the history of the league the last 2 years of his tenure here, okay? And the first year of those last 2 years where we were the most injured team, we almost won the division still, okay? How often do I say it, Jarett? The difference between 12-5 and 5-12 is this much. And usually that much has everything to do with coaching. And Mike Vrabel had us in every game, okay? And I think this fan base, Miss Amy, fucking Rand Carthon, whoever wants to give him an apology owes him an apology, okay? Because he will resurface. I think he's waiting on a job that he probably wants, whether it's Ohio State, if Ryan Day doesn't get into the playoffs and win a national title, or I'm sorry, they'll make the playoffs if they don't make a serious run at a national title, whether it's the Philadelphia Eagles where he could reunite with A.J. Brown, because we knew that wasn't his decision, right? Whose decision was that? Probably John Robinson's, and who probably gave him the okay to pull the trigger? Amy Adams Strunk, okay? So maybe we should stop blaming Mike Vrabel for our failures the last few years and maybe realize that all our successes had a lot to do with him. And like I said, I hope the comments come flooding in, jumping at me, because I don't give a shit anymore about this team entirely, to be honest with you. I'm fed up with them. We are a joke of a franchise. The season is lost. I hope we lose every fucking game from here to the end of the season, and we could start over yet again. Okay.
So let me pause there real quick before you
go ahead.
Before you start going, I just want to play devil's advocate. Okay, you're saying it's more of the because I see both sides of the story, and I tend to agree. But for the sake of a podcast here, let's talk about it. You say it's more of the ownership. Okay, I can see where you're going with this. But now, if it starts with the ownership, how come she's giving us the keys to everything to go get Snead, to go get all these high quality free agents and bring them to Nashville?
Maybe that wasn't the move, Jarett. Maybe the move was to be bad for a few years and not sign high caliber players on a team that's not ready to win now. Maybe that wasn't the move. Maybe the move was to be bad for a year or two and draft young talent, bring in young, cheap talent, and build over the course of a year, not just throw all of our chips into the middle with all these big free agent moves. And what has it done us? What has it done us?
Right now, nothing. Like Sal and we were talking the other day. We were promised a lot this offseason. How Levis looks great. He's in the playbook, and it's just not turning over to the onto the field. And people are saying you got to be patient with this. You got to be patient. Guys, how long do you have to be patient for? Okay, he's going into his 13th start in the league. There's no signs of improvement. It's more of a regression. I said it last podcast. He has 4 interceptions in 9 games last year. He has 4 interceptions and three fumbles this year. That's 9. That's 8 turnovers, and 2 of them are pick sixes. We're giving 25 points away in turnovers in the last 3 games. It's ridiculous. So something has to give. Whether it's clicking or not, you need to find ways to get guys the ball in space. Like I said, it just seems like our wide receivers are catching the ball. They're going down. They're just going right out of bounds. We need that offense like we had with A.J. Brown and Corey Davis, where they catch it in space and they're running. So it's just our offense is so vanilla right now. And like you've been saying, this offensive guru in Brian Callahan, he's supposed to let this go. I want to see the response now going into week 4 now. You're going to have 3 games under your belt. You have 3 absolute horrible games to go through your mistakes on with the offensive line, because people are saying, oh, it's not on all Will Levis. It's the offensive line. Yes, the offensive line is terrible. But you know what? He has to have the pocket awareness too as well, like we've been talking about week in and week out. Even from last year, we saw it. You have to start rolling the pocket, and none of it is changing. It's just the same shit on Sundays and on Mondays every single season.
So I grew up with a kid. Wasn't really friends with him. We were more acquaintances. I'll tell you his name after the show. I'm not going to air him out. He is a high-ranking NFL executive in the front office. I don't know if I told you about him before. I reached out to him because we never had beef or anything. We were acquaintances. We always got along. We're friendly with each other when we saw each other. And I reached out to him. And I said, hey, if you don't mind me asking, what was the grade on Will Levis? Like, what was the consensus on him when he came out of came out of college to enter the draft? He said, yeah, no problem. I can answer that. He has trouble in his progressions, plain and simple. He has all the arm talent in the world, but he is very stubborn. He has trouble with his progressions, okay? And it seems like this kid has a job in an NFL front office for a reason, because he was spot on, okay? And this was before the season even started. I reached out to him to ask him this.
I remember you were saying.
When everything was going hunky-dory in the preseason, and I just wanted to see what someone who was in the know, a real person in the know.
And an outsider.
Yeah, he was in the know in the NFL, and he's an outsider because he doesn't work for the Titans. And he gave a very honest answer. And I said, well, I appreciate your insight, and I'm going to have to disagree. And that's why I sell lotion for a living, and he works in the NFL, because he was spot on. Will Levis, we noticed it at the Jets game. It was the issue with the pick 6 to Jair Alexander. He locks on to that first read and stares them down, and if they're not there, he panics. He drifts into trouble.
Sacks.
He drifts into sacks. He gets happy feet. He doesn't want to take a sack. He does a Carson Wentz thing and shovels the ball to whoever the fuck is in the area instead of taking the sack. Like you said a few weeks ago, your progressions are supposed to start from top to bottom. You work your way down. If they're not there, go on to the next one. If the second one is not there, go to your third. If it's not there, either take your sack or try to take off and gain a few yards, okay? He is getting happy feet because his first read isn't there, and then he tries to revert back to what he has been doing his whole career. And shout out me, okay? I don't want to be right about this. I've been saying this since week 1, since he fucked up. I think he's always going to revert back to what he knows best, and that is to play backyard football and try to play hero ball, okay?
It's clearly happening right now.
I didn't want to be right, but I am right. Because as soon as the pocket breaks down and his first read isn't open and he doesn't throw pick 6, he tries to play hero ball. He drifts into a sack. He runs around, makes a mistake, because that is what he's used to doing. Tic Tac brought up a good point. He's 25 years old. So I'm not hearing that he's young. It's an age thing. He'll grow out of it. No. He's 25 years old. This is probably who he is. It's not just you need to change as a football player. Part of changing as a football player is you maturing as a person, okay? Clearly, he's stubborn. He thinks his way is the best way because he continues to do the same stupid shit. And I think I was right in week 1 when I said, I am done with him. I hope we lose every game from here on out. I don't know if it's a quarterback this year, if they love Shador, or maybe we get a Travis Hunter or the wide receiver from Arizona that's a freak athlete. But I think Will Levis is done. Keep him in there so we can lose every game, because he will lose you every game.
I really want to see
together 4, 5, 6 wins in a row. I'm not going to believe shit until I see it. As you can tell by my tone, my rhetoric, my narrative, I'm tired with this team. I'm tired with this franchise.
Of course, it's very easy.
I think it starts at the top. I think we had a 5-year window with Mike Vrabel where things were going great, And we had 2 years where we struggled and we got rid of him. And now look at us. What's the biggest difference in the NFL between a good team and a bad team? It's coaching. Okay? I think Miss Amy might be a bit over her head. I think she's her father's daughter for a reason, okay? Making just moves that might look good on paper, but aren't really working out, okay? I think she might be more excited for this new stadium, which props to her. It's going to do great things for the city. I think that Will Levis is a joke. I think that we tried to put all of our chips in the middle this year, and it didn't work out. And I'm tired of the whole franchise in general, to be honest, because we're spending our hard-earned money to travel down there like assholes with nothing to show for it. And we met fans who love this team. We felt very welcomed by everybody. And I feel almost bad for them, more bad for them than I do for us, because they have to hear the local media every day. You know what I mean? At least we don't have to hear that shit. I'm just done with this team. I'm tired of them. I'll love them to the day I die, but I have no faith in them. And why should I?
No, not right now. Absolutely not right now. We've been hurt, and people say, "Oh, guys, give it time, give it time." We've been given time for the last how many years as fans? We're 35, 30, in our early 30s over here, and it's just the same shit every single year. We're either promised something or something looks good, and then all of a sudden it just gets wiped from our feet. It's just very irritating. So me and Sal vented on that. I respect that you vented it. You're going to get the love, hate, and you know what? It's all good, because there's people that say, give it time, and people say, no, fuck that. We spend our hard-earned money on YouTube TV, trying to watch the games every week, trying to go down there, fly down for flights, and
trying
it's
to find streams like a jerk off.
Yeah, it's the same stuff every year. So it is frustrating. I see what they're doing, what they're trying to bring surround the young kid with talent. They gave this guy the keys to the whole franchise. And right now, to me, and people are going to be like, you guys are assholes. You don't know what you're talking about. It's the line's fault. It's the line's fault. It's not on Will Levis. It's all on Will Levis. Yes. If you watch the whole show, last week, instead of the whole clip, the 1 minute clip that we talked about, okay, we explained this, and I explained it last show too. It is the offensive line's fault. And it's also coaching, and it's also the offensive line, okay? So there's 3 faults, okay? The defense is the only thing that looks good, except last week. We'll explain it.
How many turnovers have they forced?
None. But they've looked
zero.
Yes, the turnovers, yes. They've looked promising compared to the offense. The offense does not look promising at all. So people could say, oh, week in and week out. You have 17, and 14. What's it going to be this week? And we're going to get into our score predictions after this. But like I said, until they show me consistency on the offensive side of the ball, I'm not picking them to score more than 17 points.
Callahan is in over his head. He was not ready for this job.
No.
Okay?
So I
don't want to hear about an offensive line. Joe Burrow took a team to the fucking Super Bowl with the worst offensive line in the league and was this close to fucking winning it. I am tired of the excuses.
Yeah, they got to
show up or don't. And this team is a bunch of fucking losers. We don't have a true leader on this team. We have Jeffrey Simmons fucking making boneheaded mistakes, causing us fucking points. Who do we have on offense that's a leader? Nobody. Who do we have on defense that's a leader? Nobody. Is our head coach a leader? No. Mike Vrabel was a leader. People would have ran through a fucking door for him. Remember how Ben Jones and him used to embrace each other? Him and Derrick Henry used to embrace each other. We had something going, and we fucked it up because we had a couple lackluster years. Miss Amy's in over her head. I think Rand's in over his head. Callahan's in over his head. This is a loser fucking franchise. Good story. I hope all you guys come at me because I'm tired of keeping my mouth shut. I usually don't respond to comments. This week I am going to, okay? So please come at me and defend Amy and defend Rand and defend Callahan and defend jerk-off Will Levis and whoever the fuck else you want to defend. I'm tired with all of them. I'm tired with
you want to see the products on the field, and like I said, what we've been promised has not been good at all. So with that said, we got all the heat off. Now let's put the heat back on and see how. Let's talk about this game on Monday night. How are we going to win?
We're not. We're not.
Let's just talk about how we're going to win before we get into our score predictions. How can the Tennessee Titans turn the page and try to get to 1-3 before their bye?
If the Dolphins don't show up, that's how we win. That's how we win. Because How the fuck are we going to let Malik Willis, who props to him, I loved. By the end of that game, I was on the plane. I was rooting for the fucking Packers. Shove it down our throats, buddy. Good for you. We fucked up with you. Everyone was calling Rand a genius for getting a 7th round pick. I'd love to have you back on this fucking team, buddy. I owe you an apology, as does fucking Jarett. Maybe Sal was right about him. Maybe he did have some fucking talent, okay? Because what do I always say? Coaching's the biggest difference. They put him in a position to succeed.
Yes.
And maybe if Amy let Vrabel hire his own offensive guy and didn't keep that jerk-off Todd Downing around, and we could have utilized somebody we could have brought in somebody to utilize Malik Willis's skill set, maybe he could have been the guy. Because clearly Matt LaFleur knows what the fuck he's doing, okay?
And if you
skill set, okay? And if I'm Miami, I am doing the same fucking thing that Green Bay did to us this week. Run crisscrosses with Waddle and Hill and me and you and whatever other jerk off they have on their team because we can't stop shit. Fuck this defense. L'Jarius Sneed has been god awful.
96 out of 97. Someone came at me in the comments already saying it, but he is statistically
he is probably the product of someone who was on a really good team with a really good offense, okay? Because it ain't working out in Tennessee. And I'll tell you what, few more weeks go by and we're 0-5, 0-6. Sell every fucking body. DeAndre Hopkins, L'Jarius Sneed, I would whoever else. I would sell everybody and load up on a gazillion picks and let Rand. Everyone wants to let Rand cook. Let's see if we can get his fat ass back in the fucking kitchen and cook. Or maybe he could play some running back for us or something like that. Because I know he played in the NFL. I don't know what it's going to take. But if I'm the Miami Dolphins, as you can tell, I'm very heated this week. If I'm the Miami Dolphins, I'm doing the exact same thing that Green Bay did against us this week. Okay?
Yeah, they can definitely do it because Tyler Huntley is going to be the quarterback. Tyler Huntley, like I talked about it on Tuesday, he's a very capable quarterback in the NFL. I think he was 4-1 last year or 4-1 the last couple starts. Someone said he's 3-6 as a starter. He's 4-1 in his last couple starts. The kid can sling it and he can run it. So if LaFleur, which is if you watch a couple podcasts and listen to a couple people, LaFleur had Marcus Mariota back in 2018 when he was with the Titans or whatever it was, LaFleur, and he took that game plan with Marcus Mariota and implemented it to Malik Willis. I forgot, maybe it was the McAfee show I was watching. And they showed specific plays from Tennessee, and he ran the same exact thing. Instead of fitting Malik Willis into a Jordan Love role, he made his skill set. He used his skill set, which he knew was Marcus Mariota, and utilized it to his best ability.
He didn't try to jam a square peg into a round hole.
Yes.
He devised
what is best.
Devise the offense what Malik Willis does best. That's what a good coach does, and we don't have one.
And Mike McDaniel is going to do the same exact thing with Huntley this week as he saw it work last week, and they're going to try to do the same thing this week. They're going to try to run them. Like you said, they're going to try to do the short, intermediate passes that get the ball out of your hands quick so the defensive line and our linebackers cannot get to the quarterback. And that's another thing. Why can't – we've been talking about it since Nashville, even last year. Why can't we get the ball out of our hands as fast as these other quarterbacks? Jaden Daniel looked like an absolute animal on Monday night, getting the ball out of his hands. Joe Burrow getting the ball out of his hands. Another one, Josh Allen, Monday night, getting the ball out of his hands quick. We are the only team in the NFL, minus the Jaguars, who absolutely are a dumpster fire on Monday night. Two quarterbacks that can't get the ball out of their hands, and that's why you're 0-3 for a reason.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Listen, and I think Will Levis is going to try to be Mr. Hotshot on Monday night with the bright lights on him and what he did last year. He'll fuck up again, mark my words. He keeps trying to do the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. I am out on him. I defended him. I've had arguments with friends about defending him. I'm done with him. I was wrong about him. Me and you didn't really like him from the start, but I think we're still trying to hold on to what he did in his first start last year. But that was a flash in the pan. I think he is a career backup. I think he'd be really good in like the CFL maybe, but he's not an NFL quarterback. He thinks he's a lot better than he actually is. And I think this whole franchise really thinks they're better than they actually are. You know what I mean? Because we've had some decent years, and I think we're getting a dose of our own medicine, and we're getting really what we deserve, and that's a punch in the face because we ain't shit. We ain't shit. And Miami is going to beat our ass on Monday night. And I'm no longer picking the Titans to win any more fucking games.
I'm glad you brought that up because right now we're going to get into our sick picks. So Jimmy, hit us with it.
It's time for Sick Picks. Brought to you by DraftKings. The crown is yours.
I'm going to agree with you on that. I'm not going to pick them, and nor with the 17 points. So I'm going to let you get the realm first since you're still hot. Give me a score prediction of Monday Night Football.
33-3.
That's what you're going with?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they beat the shit out of us. I think you could.
They get their revenge?
Yeah, and then some. I think we lose by double digits easily, 33-3. I hope we get embarrassed on Monday night, and I hope people lose their jobs on Tuesday morning.
Vin's going hot tonight, as you can tell on Thursday night. But I'm going to try to keep it, within a game a little bit. But I do have the Finns winning. I don't care if Tyler Hulley's the quarterback or not. Like I said, I think he is a capable quarterback.
Well, we'll make him look good. He
is a capable quarterback, and he wins football games. And they're going to do everything that basically Malik Willis did to us last week. So I have the Dolphins winning 20-16. Like I said, I'm not picking the Titans to score over 17 points until they can actually prove it to me week in and week out. So yes, I have us going 0-4 going into the bye, and I don't know. We'll see what happens on that Tuesday if something gets shaken up within going into that bye week. But
and if we lose and we lose embarrassing, I'd fire Callahan on Tuesday morning. I don't give a shit. I
mean, we'll see. We'll see at that point. I think he had a meeting with Amy last week.
We're going to be so impatient with Mike Vrabel after what he did for us and after his 2 lackluster years. If we can't have patience with him, why should we have patience with this kid?
I don't know. It's mind-boggling, and the answers for every single question from now on is just I don't know because it's just been I don't know moves. I don't know how we're going to win this game. I don't know how we lost this game.
Neither does Rain Carthon. Neither does
I don't know.
Brian Callahan. Neither does Will Levis. That's the whole franchise. I don't know. I don't know.
Throw us your parlay, and let's try to make something. Let's try to make light of the situation. Try to win some money this weekend too. What do you got for us for a parlay?
Did they put are we going to put the picks up, or I have to go scroll back into the text?
No, you're gonna scroll today.
I said that I like the Colts plus 1.5, the Bengals minus 4.5, and the Jets minus 7.5, and the Titans losing 33-3.
You're gonna sprinkle that again.
Yep.
I'm gonna switch things up, and I'm gonna go college football because I've been hot, knock on wood, in college football. In the NFL, it's just anybody wins any single given time in the week, and who do you pick to score a touchdown? Who doesn't score a touchdown? Who's guaranteed? So I'm staying away from the NFL this week. I have a 5-leg parlay plus 330. It's going to be airing when you're watching this. It's going to be airing Friday night. Miami versus Virginia Tech. I'm taking the Hurricanes minus 16.5. Cam Ward to throw for 3 touchdowns and over 300 yards. Xavier Restrepo to score a touchdown. I think I said that right. And then I'm taking Miami halftime, Miami full time. And like I said, that's 5 legs for plus 330. Win you some money on Friday. Sprinkle some of that, Vin. Sprinkle some of that. I'll send it to you.
This team's got me ready to walk to the closest bridge is what they got me ready to do.
Yeah, I said it to my friends. I was like, you better start calling Port Authority because I'm gonna start walking.
We're all lucky. We'll just break our legs and be assholes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. I don't know, man. Hopefully something changes, and hopefully there's a spark on Monday night because it's just dead every single Sunday, and it sucks the life out of you. And I even said it last week. I'm not even mad anymore. I can't get mad because it's just expected at this point as to be a Titans fan. Until you show me something where I say, you know what? I'm getting a little excited after 0-3. Remember, 0-3, only 6 teams has made the playoffs. Like you tweeted me, there's a chance. There's a chance. I don't see it happening. I just want to see some sort of consistency for the rest of the year. So starting now and then after the bye, start showing consistency of the offense. I want to see everything go. Maybe Will Levis, for all you people that say, oh, we're too hard on people, maybe, it is a waiting game, but I don't think it's a waiting game at all. And clearly, after Vin.
How many starts has he had now?
I think he's going into 13 or 14. And like I said, clearly after Vin, not being on the show the last 2 days, he is clearly hot, and all respect, and he could do anything he wants, because that is us Titan fans. That was me and Sal last week, and he showed his anger, and I'm sure all you guys. I'm sure
we want to spend $1,000 a piece for a flight, a hotel, and a game, and this is what we get in return.
Yes.
God knows all the stupid fucking shit that we buy. I'll say whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, exactly. We're sick and tired of being patient. We don't want to be patient anymore. We want wins. We want the Lombardi, and so do you guys. Okay, so do you guys. So don't get it twisted at all. We're just very passionate fans that show our passion for our team, and it sucks that we get our balls busted in group chats with our friends. You guys do the same thing. You sit down with your family, your kids, to watch that game, and you get all excited on Sunday, and all of a sudden that rug gets swept up from under you. It just gets tiring, and you want to brag to your friends, you want to brag to everybody that your team is good, and right now we can't do that. And it just sucks again for another season of another long off season that we thought was going to be good so far. It's still September, so everyone's saying, oh, you guys are fucking crazy. It's still September, I'll give it to you. But you know what? We're going to have the same conversation in another 3 weeks to see what the record is. All right? So, Vin, if you got nothing else to say.
I got it all off my chest. I
got nothing else to say. We appreciate every single one of you guys, whether you love us, you hate us. We all have our opinions. But we appreciate every single one of you guys listening and following us on this journey. So please, if you have not yet, subscribe, hit the bell on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram. We love every single one of you guys, and we're just going to keep bringing you the best content we can. And we got a lot of guests lined up, and we got a lot of good guests that you haven't seen yet on there, and some ex-Titans coming on the show soon. So you're not going to want to miss that, and you're not going to want to miss their reactions too. So like I said, if you haven't subscribed already, hit the bell. You know when we're live and when we're going on. And peace and love to every single buddy. Jimmy, send us out.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Talking Titans on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.